All right, I think I got it. Oh! Welcome back to the float across jump trail build. In the last video I finished the step up and we're going to continue on from there. We're going to excavate this hillside, dig a transition down, and deep as we can go before we hit roots on this tree right here. And we're going to make a jump over this ancient stump here. This stump is almost all dirt at this point, but it does have some wood left. So we might have it built into the stump or behind it, I'm not sure. And it's going to land on to, I believe, a slightly hipped landing into a berm. And then we're going to have a turn coming down through here, a 180, a little less than 180, going back that way. And we're going to have another jump into another turn, a right-hand turn. And we're getting pretty close to the end now, so we're going to have the whole trail done and rideable soon. Hopefully before the end of this season is my goal. So let's get to it. I got the step down hip done, and of course the deer, every time I finish anything they have to come and play on it. It's actually not too bad compared to what they do sometimes though. Sometimes they do donuts. This was only the first pass of packing anyways. I gotta let it get rained on and pack it down a few more times, so no big deal. But this worked out really good, this landing here, because I was originally gonna have it more of a hip and the lip would be more straight over this old there's actually two stumps here. And I was going to have it turn, much sharper turn, and go like straight down and then a really hard G-up berm. But I'm glad I changed it and I pointed it a little more straight, a little less of a hip, and I didn't have to cut these logs at all. These logs make a perfect retaining wall for the landing. So, and I didn't even take too much dirt to make it this big. This is a nice big steep landing. And it's still going to be a ton of speed going into that berm. It's really going to rocket you out. So I think that shark fin exit would be actually a pretty decent gap, maybe 13, 14 feet into a transition. I took a little run in at this the other day when it was really warm, but it still hadn't dried up enough, so it was really soft. So I went over again and packed it another time. So next day, there's a couple dry days after, we'll get a test run in on it. I was a little nervous because it's unridden and pretty significant gaps, so just have to do it. All right, well, it's raining now, so we'll see if I can squeeze in some work before I get too wet. The last thing I have to do on this, besides fix the deer tracks, is trim the little branches that are hanging down. And then we're almost done with the turn afterwards. So we'll continue on. landing is actually steeper than most bike park lips, so that'll be real fun. Dive down, it's plenty big, so it won't be too challenging. This is going to be pretty high speed diving into this. Got this berm done, and it's going to the curve's a little bit tighter towards the end because I really want to give it more of a like banked lip feeling and really shoot you out of the end. And I want to go about maybe 12 or 13 feet, and I'm going to dig a transition completely down into the ground here because I've got this this old wall over here that I can just drain it out. So I'll completely excavate this transition, and we will come into a lip over this tree and a hip landing into basically the opposite of what came before it, like a hip step down, and this time into a right hand berm. And then that one's going to go either into more of a straight lip, or it might even be like a banked shark finned banked landing also. We'll see. I'll see how it looks once I get this dug out and get down there. But yeah, we'll continue on with that. So we're going to move on and build the landing out of this, what turned out to be kind of a little mellow satellite dish. I'll show a side view. Shark fin, and kind of a satellite dish out. It's going to be a hip. And it's going to be a hip step down. And so I've been scouting out after what's going to happen after this. There's going to be a berm. It's going to turn right. I had kind of planned it out what's going to happen after that before the big bomb cyclone hit. But since then, it's a mess down here. It really hit this this corridor really hard. And so I wanted to make a bunch of like scoopy S-turns all the way and meet down up perfectly at the junction of the loam rhythm trail and the climbing trail. But I think I'm going to abort that. It's just too much of a mess, and I really want to button this up before it dries up and get everything, you know, in case there's adjustments I have to make, change any of the lips or anything. So I think I'm just going to do, out of this turn, I'm going to do a roller next to this stump, dive into a transition, and then just a step up double, slight step up with the landing on those logs. And then maybe just a couple rollers or something, or just a little trail, and we'll pop onto the loam rhythm trail, which is right here. See right down there, and that's just 2 turns from the bottom. I think I'm going to do that, and you can see all these broken trees. This was just a crazy mess of destruction down here. So we're going on a time lapse of clearing out the hip landing into the berm. done. It's finally done. After 3 rainy seasons of digging, 3 years, I've finished this jump trail. Probably one of the longest solo, hand-built, steep and poppy style, BMX style jump trails that I can think of. This is the final jump, this slight step up. It's a step up in that the base of the landing is quite a bit higher than the base of the lip, but it's not really a true step up jump. It's more like a short table. It'll be real safe to do tricks on. I left the landing real soft. It's a mix of mulch, organic material, and soil, and I'm going to leave it unpacked. And I'm not going to be throwing a bunch of tricks, really. I'm going to do some power moves, like hopefully do a 360 again. I haven't done one of those in a few years. The flat bottom of the landing, pretty unpacked with mulch as well. And then the landing runs out into the end of the jump trail, connects into Cookie Dough, the Loam Rhythm Rut Trail. Right into the base of that. It's just a couple turns up from the bottom. And that connects into the climbing trail. So we can now do a complete loop of the jump trail. I'm pretty happy to finally get this done. I'm going to tune up a couple things on it. And we'll start doing some full runs. So, stoked. All right. That feels fast, very fast. So I do feel like I need to brake a little bit. So this might be another speed feeler. That felt okay. I just can't tell. It's so weird slowing down at the top and kind of sinking in and then speeding up. I've only got a few feet to gauge the speed. Let's start. It's getting better. It's actually better if I hit it lower and come a little bit outside at the exit. I packed it down after I hit it the first time, so it was real torn up on the high line and trying to dive in. Back up here again. Still haven't jumped this section, and still haven't ridden the entire rest of the trail, which I just kept plowing through and finishing. I was gonna leave the failed attempts that I made at this out of the video, but I figured why not show everything. I'm not embarrassed. I've got healthy fear of long and low jumps. You know, if this jump was a few feet taller and steeper, it wouldn't be as scary to me. It's the forward momentum that's scary for long and lows. That's why I like close and steep jumps better, because you're going more up than forward. So if you hang up on a long and low, it's a much higher consequence. On the flip side, it's a little lower consequence over clearing it. Over clearing on a steep jump is way harsher, but you can minimize that kind of by like pushing through the lip, racering it. So what's been throwing me off is this wall, the landing of the hip and this right turn. You just start so slow on the hip, it's just nice and floaty. And then by the time you get down here, you're just rocketing down. And I'm pretty sure it's way too much speed. So I did a few run-ups just from starting rolling in on the landing of the hip. That's still like tons of speed. So I've been just controlling my braking down and scrubbing speed. And it feels like I'm going to be able to hop over. And so what I also did was I built an extra case pad extension so that I can purposely go a little slower than I think I need to, and then work my way up. And also like some of the other guys that come out once in a while and help me with clearing and ride, I'll probably leave it up for them too. None of us are at the age where we're bouncing back off the ground when we hit it. So I think I've got it. I think I've got a good speed to go on this and intentionally come up a little short. So I'm going to give it a go. I haven't hit it yet. Only the deer have. I don't know if I'm going to hit this one or the rest right now. I'm just thinking about this, so we'll see if I can do it. Let's roll in. Scrub the speed on the way down. Float right over. Man, low angle jumps and this run-in, it's just a mental block for me. All right, ride the brakes a little more. Okay, that feels good. All right, a little more brakes. A little less brakes. All right, I think I got it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is hard to tell how fast I'm going. Well, I'm glad I built the pad. Okay, well now I know. Now I have more information about how fast to go. Yeah, that is just such a foreign feeling of speed. Usually have more of like a steady approach to a jump. Okay, no brakes. Okay, I patched up the case pad. Yeah, the only reason I built this long and low was to get speed for the step up. And I could have just had not had a jump there and maybe had a roller or something, but I thought it'd be more fun. It could be taller too. It doesn't have to be a long and low, but that just kind of guarantees the speed for the step up. So, but that's clearly not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is steep jumps, BMX style, which I feel to me is lower risk. And but that's why I'm playing it safe. Okay, let's try no brakes since I was so far off. Oh, wow. I am not good at judging speed in this situation. Every other jump on the trail I was pretty good at. It just feels crazy fast, but I guess the lip being so mellow also lacks a very much pump to it, whereas a steeper lip, you can kind of see as you're approaching it if you need to like add a little oomph to it or like push through it and racer it. So yeah, maybe I'll need to pedal. I'll try a run from further up so I hit the hip and see how much speed that gives me, because yeah, I'm still way off. Better, still hung up though. I landed right here on the proper pad. It's also really soft at the top. Like I said before, he feels like you're going so slow at the very top and then super fast at the bottom. So when it hardens up at the top, it should get a lot easier. I also tried to throw in a couple pedals. I was in too low of a gear, so I probably actually lost speed doing that. Even going slow here, it felt good coming up to the step up. That's gonna feel really good. Let's do a couple more. Oh, feeling it. I just hung up a little bit that time. I'm feeling the step up. Yeah, everything's still so soft. I've gone back over and packed things several times, but some of this dirt is so sandy. It just needs to dry. Yeah, it should get faster. Should be perfect when it gets faster. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh, I knew that step up would be perfect. I just felt that. And this should be super easy. You probably can't tell on the camera, but this is like super steep downhill. It's step down into super downhill left-hander. That speed felt about right, but I want to do a couple more run-ups. Oh, that felt so good. I really yanked for the long and low. And I'm not sure what I did on the step up, but when it's running fast, this will be absolutely perfect. All right, that's good. I'm gonna take a day of rest and come back fresh, get the rest of this bottom part, and then get some top to bottoms going, which is gonna feel amazing. Okay, I'm at the top of the completed jump trail. The one step down that I didn't hit, the little hip, I hit it off camera because I was just hanging out and it was hot, and I didn't feel like wearing my full face for the camera mount. You just need to do so much braking. You need to jam on the front and rear brakes at the bottom of the landing right before the berm, and it's all gravel there. And I don't want that when it dries in the summer. That's just gonna be a super sketchy explosion of dust and gravel. So I turned that into a roller, and it's ready to go. And this is going to be the first full run down the entire trail, finally, after 3 seasons of building a machine-built trail. But I'm the machine with these 2 hands. And it's not the full original trail. The top is beyond this pretty much impenetrable wall of giant trees laying on top of each other, and multiple walls that fell during the bomb cyclone. But there's only like really 3 jumps, and then a couple like minor like rollers and small shark fin, just the very beginning. And that was through a marsh too. Like there was a bunch of springs. If you see my old original build videos of this trail, you'll see all the problems with springs coming up, shallow springs. So it wasn't even the way I wanted those jumps to be built. So this is the new start at the top of the climbing trail, and this is the top of the Lomer trail, the new top of that too. And this shark fin can't really hit this at full speed anymore, but you can just kind of pop over it and then get into the trail. So here we go. First full run. Let's see if I can make it to the bottom. I know it's going to be tiring. Going to be a lot of G-forces that I'm not used to because I've been digging all fall, winter, and spring instead of riding. So I'll see if I can hold on. Whoa! There's the old cutoff to the Lomer, and we're into the new section. Whoa! Yes. Oh. Oh, a little heavy. Yes. And that's it. And from here it connects to the bottom of Cookie Dough into the climbing trail. Yeah, I was getting pretty jello-y by the time I got to the long and low. I had to really suck it up. That's incredible. I'm very happy. Should I try this on a BMX bike? I'm kind of tempted to. I think I could do the whole thing on just a rear brake. We'll see. I don't know. It might be a bad idea. Old guy, hasn't jumped a BMX bike in a while, riding a downhill mountain bike jump trail that I can barely hold on to by the bottom. Yeah, let me know. Should I do it? Well, that was a huge reward for all that work I put in. I'm super happy with how it turned out. There's a couple things here and there I still want to change. Some of the stuff higher up that I built, I wanted to make some of those jumps taller, and didn't have a wheelbarrow at the time to move the dirt, as the upper part of this trail is pretty far out there. Might go back next rainy season and build some of those up to be a little more poppy. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for those who followed along the build. And there's more where this came from. There's another trail I'm going to build that I'm going to start scouting out and building this fall. So stay tuned and subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.